Hello guys, my name's David with Barrett Baits. I wanted to start doing some videos on YouTube to go along with some of the other social media stuff that I'm doing. I tie flies, I've tied jigs, I paint. Try to do a little bit of everything bait related. Um, Today I'm going to tie a bass jig that I use quite a bit. I've caught my personal best on my own stuff, and that's all I use now for the last 2 years. Recently I hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, and I decided I was going to start going live and doing some of this stuff and sharing it with people. But the YouTube thing's been in the back of my mind, so I was going to give it a shot. It's my first video. I don't know how to do the editing or nothing yet, but hopefully I'll figure it out and we can share some of this together, maybe get some ideas from you guys. If you have any, put it in the comments, and hopefully we can teach each other some things. But I'm gonna go, it's gonna be kind of a shad pattern, I would say, but in a jig. I've tied quite a few of these, and like I said, I've caught some pretty nice ones using them. A lot of the stuff I do is not gonna be what you're used to. A lot of people probably will say I'm doing it wrong. I kind of just make up my own stuff. I don't follow patterns. But let's get started and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's a very simple jig too, but when it's all said and done, it should look like a shad, and it's what it looks like to me anyway. I take my thread pretty far back because I want to tie a tail on there. I use rabbit zonkers and white on this jig. It'll be white. Like I said, I go way back here, almost to the bend. And then come back forward a couple turns over to lock your thread in. Last night I had trouble with this piece of rabbit, but we'll see if it'll cooperate. No, I'm not going to use it. We'll go with this one. Right here, the leather part of it, I always cut that to begin with at a little sharp V. If you can see that, I don't know. The stuff goes everywhere. But I like to measure about 1.5 times my hook with the tail. I'm going to go all the way up to that bait keeper. Hopefully we can get all this in one video, because I don't know how to edit yet. What you see is what we're gonna get for now, I think. Almost to the bait keeper. That's good enough. I come all the way back. You can see we're gonna have that much leather sticking out the back. Now, I've done marabou and bucktail. I kind of like the bucktail better for this. You are going to waste quite a bit of this, so what I do on my bucktails, I just get a small pinch. Bring that. You're only going to use a little piece of it, but we'll go I don't want it to interfere with that tail too much. Get a loose wrap, get a couple wraps in. See, I want it to puff a little. Get the side. On the sides, I try to get them to where they'll cover that hook, so I can only have to do the 3 sides. I think getting out and tying something and catching something with what you make is the best thing about tying your own stuff. Sounds like the neighbor's dogs are going after something out there. Might be some wild pigs. It's supposed to get really cold tonight, so I'm gonna have to remember and take my airbrushing paint in. Right at the beginning of the year, it got to like 6 degrees and my paint froze, and I lost about $400 worth of paint. So, tip, if you guys are a painter, don't let your paint freeze. It says it's so right on the bottle, but alright, so what we've got so far, just like that. Now, I'll get some of this Polar Flash, and I get quite a bit. As you see, like, I get quite a bit. You know, you could probably get by with half or even a quarter of this, but I like it to be a little bit flashy, and I tone that down anyway, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I come right back to where it is, where their hair is, and I do all 3 sides just like I did before. You see all that flashing in there. I love it. When I think of a shad, it's got a lot of shine and flash to it, so that's what I'm going for here. And then that deer hair gives it some body in there. I could cut that off, but I'm going to be covering it up and it ain't going to matter. Now coming back over where I tied that collar earlier, you see that? Now here's where that piece was giving me trouble last night. It didn't want to wrap. But we'll give it a shot again. I'm going to cut. Nah. I'm going to put some rabbit zonker here. We're going to do the body with that. Come all the way up here to your about eighth to a quarter away from that bait keeper. If you have to, wet your fingers. That helps keep it all back. I cannot wait for spring. I have to have a back surgery here in February, and hopefully everything will be back to normal pretty soon and I can get out and do some fishing. This year, I messed my back up back in March, right in the prime time for fishing here in Texas. And it's been bad since. And they're finally supposed to fix me up. Alright, I'm going to bring it back here a little ways because I'm going to add that black in. In my mind, it's the shad dot or kill dot that I add to it. Go ahead and come on back with it a little more. Cover up that leather good. Get some of this fuzz out of my way. This rabbit fur goes everywhere. Half the time it's in my mouth. But you can see how it's going to be, sort of. I don't remember what this stuff is called. I get it at Hobby Lobby and I got like every color they've got. It's cheap and it goes a long ways. Probably a lifetime worth in my bucket over here. You try to save everywhere you can, especially with all this inflation and how everything has been. Alright, so if you can picture a shad with the shad dot, see if this is going to lay right. You don't need a lot because, you know, the dot's small. I actually did one of these to do a giveaway for a guy, and it's going out on Monday, which is tomorrow. Hopefully he can catch him something nice with it. Let me know how he liked it. So, right at that bait keeper is where I'm stopping this guy. And we can't end it just like that. So, if you picture, okay, you got the white, you got the kill dots, so we need something here and here that will give it the profile of the fish. And what I'm going to use is more deer hair. Not much. I just want to finish that piece off there. Well, we'll see if we're going to use the deer hair. It might end up being something else. Might use marabou. Yep. I think I've got something better. We'll go with this because it's got the same flash. And I'm going to come all about 1/8 of an inch from the end there. Just wind it up. Yeah, I think that's going to give us just enough over the black to kind of hide a little bit of it. And like I said, I'll do about 1/8 of an inch from the head. What I'm doing with scissors though. Now, try to pull all that back. Every now and then you'll have a piece sticking up, and I just try to catch it in the next loop. I'm going to build this up a little bit. This is a big jig head, so I always would finish my stuff twice. It might be overkill on some, but like I said, I don't really follow directions. I just do it the way I feel like it. If more of us did that, we'd probably have a lot more available to us for fishing, right? If everybody copies each other, we can't find the next latest greatest bait to use. Now, I'll take some of this UV resin here and go over my thread. see what we got. Now, if you can see what I was talking about, you got your kill dot in here, your tail. So whenever I'm in the water, this tail moves quite a bit, along with this rabbit. These things I've fished for weeks without changing, because I catch so many with something just simple like that. And I wanted to share some of it with people, and I'll be doing airbrushing and stuff like that, but for my first video I wanted to just do something simple and introduce myself to everybody. Hopefully I'll get some of you guys in my comments and we can follow each other on some of our other platforms and stuff. But for now, I'm going to sign out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.